Hello everyone, today I'm here with the perfect game played between Viacheslav Dydyshko and Garry Kasparov. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry about that, it's hard to pronounce for me. But anyway, I'm trying to make my own community inspiring of from Agadmator and Gotham Chess. If I'm doing any mistakes and from my pronunciations or in my videos, just put it in the comment sections. If you have any idea to I make better content, just comment it, and thank you guys for your hard supports. And let's dig in this game and let's see what happens. As you guys can see, Dydyshko played with the white pieces and opened the game with the d4. Garry Kasparov responded with the knight f6, c4, g6, king's Indian defense. Black want to finish to his bishops, put a pawn on d6 and castle later on. Anyway, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, bishop e2, and as I said, castle kingside, bishop g7, c4, attacking the center, d5, h6, kicking away bishop on g5, bishop e3, e6, queen d2, putting queen on the d2, put pressuring on the h6, e takes d5, e takes d5, and now king h7, defending the pawn. h3, preventing any bishop g4 ideas in the future. Rook e8, putting rook on the semi-open file. And now knight f3, developed his knight, bishop f5, bishop d3, and now queen d7. If captured with the bishop, he could have put his queen on the f5. Queen c2, and Garry Kasparov, strangely enough, he's developed his knight, and it's it is strange, and I'm telling every new players, just do not play knight a6 or knight h6 like that. These positionals is not good for knights. It's too far from the center. But anyway, he puts his queen on the d7. There was no way for knight, and it's just crazy. Bishop takes f7, exchanging the pieces, and now f takes, g takes f5. Strange enough, these double pawns is just perfect for defending, and they can't do anything on the attacking chances, and they are so weak on the attack, and they are so perfect on defending. Like I'm showing you guys how many squares there are put on control. White castle on the queen side, knight e4, exchanging the knight, f takes e4, and now knight h4, threatening to put knight on f5 to put pressure on the bishop and the pawn on d6. Rook e5, stopping for a moment, but white plays g4, and he's ready to put knight on f5. Knight b4, and now knight f5. And feel free to pause the video and think about these positions Garry Kasparov has and what he has, Dydyshko's positions. Two positionals search for the answer. What black's plan and what white can do about his positions, while I give you guys a couple of seconds. Well, if you guys could find the best solutions, congratulations. As you guys can see, white has a space battery on the board, and his pieces is more active than Garry Kasparov. Like knight on b4, it's not active, but he's stuck on b4, and as you guys can see, there is no good square to go. And white plans is take on d6 to free the passed pawn, and what black can do about these positions. So in these positions, taking the pawn with a knight, it doesn't matter, because taking a pawn, it's not going to make knight active, like king b1 attacking to the knight, and the knight b4, knight takes d6, and now whites have a passed pawn, and it's just winning, and he's threatening to take more pawns, like as you guys can see. And there is a lot of more. What if he plays bishop f8, like bishop f4, and this pawn is just lost and the game with it. And capturing the knight after that, it's just like taking the rook, and as you guys can see, there is no hope for black positions. But anyway, Garry Kasparov didn't find any good move, like he captured on the knight, giving a exchange for his appointment. G takes if f5, and I'm sure you guys know why this happens and why Garry Kasparov will give his appointment exchange, because he has no activity on his pieces and he has no choice about it. Rook takes f5, g takes f5, knight d3, check. And for second time, feel free to pause the video and find the perfect solutions for white while I give you a couple of seconds. So, as you guys can see, Garry Kasparov is trying hard and hard to activate his knight. And in these positions, strange enough, his appointment could give back the exchange he's up, like giving the knight with the rook. It's just he don't need it anymore. D takes e3, king d2, trying to take this pawn, and this game is just dead lost. But it's hard to get why this game is lost for black. For a reason I'm telling you, and for activities. Why? Because of if takes on the pawn, it doesn't matter. Material is it's matter, but the activity is more and more is important than material. So why is that? The legends like Mikhail Tal is sacrificing his queen or sacrificing his rook for, and he's winning all his games. Rook b1, and now threatening the bishop, threatening bishop, threatening the pawn, and there is no defense against it. As you guys can see, this game is just dead lost. Bishop is coming, rook on 7th rank, and this is just game over. But after knight d3, if you guys play king c2, congratulations, it's a perfect game too. And Dydyshko played king c2, b5, c takes b5, knight takes b2, and now rook b1, threatening to capture rook and give up rook for 2 pieces. Knight c4, and now a4. Dydyshko trying to put his pieces to make a pass pawn on the b file, rook e7, and strange enough, feel free to pause the video for third time and tell me why Garry Kasparov didn't play knight a3 check and forking the king and the rook. While I give you guys a couple of seconds. If you guys could find it, congratulations. Again, it doesn't matter again. Its answer is the same. For activities, why is important? Because after knight a3 checks, it doesn't change anything. It's just fixes the materials on the board, but not gives Garry Kasparov the activity on the board. King b3, knight takes b1, rook takes b1, and after like bishop d4, like queen c4, and after exchanging the bishops, its material is the same, but Garry Kasparov is losing. And why is that? It's because of the activity. And for next moves, Garry Kasparov could simply, after b8 and his opponent, Dydyshko, puts pawn on a5, and after that he has a passed pawn and it's just winning. King's too far away, and it's just like 7 moves or at least 5 moves to activate this king, and this is just need a surprise or anything to bring back this game from losing. And if pawn h6 to try to, if he plays pawn b6 and block it with the rook, but it's not going to happen, like taking the pawn and sacrificing the rook. After that, there is no one can stop the pawn from the being queening. But anyway, that's why it's taking the fork and taking the exchange back. It doesn't fix anything. Anyway, rook e8 and rook h d1, bishop f6, king b3, knight a5 check, and as you guys can see, this knight is stuck on the a5 and he has no good place to go. King, I'm sorry about that. King a2, knight c3, king b3, knight a5 check, and now king c2. And what you gonna do about this knight? And if he puts knight on the b7, there is no good way to activate the knight, and just knight is a dead pieces. Knight c4, rook b3, rook e7. Garry Kasparov is like on the zugzwang and he has no good move to do. Rook c7, and I said rook c7, rook c3, and trying to take the knight or give a rook for the bishops. It's completely winning for white. And if bishop takes c3, simply knight takes c3, and knight has nowhere to go, and he has only chance to give the bishops. And after f takes e3, king g7, king is too far away from the center, and like rook g1 check, king f6, rook g8, and this is just dead lost. What white is going to make many passed pawn and winning the game. But anyway, after like taking, it's not working, and any good moves is just gone for Garry Kasparov. Knight a5, Bishop f4, threatening the capture on the pawn, and Garry Kasparov only moves to put bishops on e5 to stopping that. f6, attacking the rook, rook e8, bishop takes e7, rook takes e7, and now rook g3, and strange enough he could have played rook g1, and after rook takes d7, putting rook on g3, or taking with a check, rook g7 check, king h8, and rook g3. And as you guys can see, there's trap to checkmate on the two moves. There is no good move until they give up the rook, and after that, as you guys can see, white is up a passed pawn, and he will try to take this pawn too, and he's up a 3 passed pawns, and there is just, I don't know who, Stockfish even can't stop these positions from losing. But anyway, rook takes e5, rook g3, and as you guys see, this threat is coming. Garry Kasparov has no choice to put rook on g5 and exchanging the rooks, like h takes g5, rook e1, and now white threatening to capture on this one and put the rook on the 7th rank. King g6, rook takes c4, knight takes f6, king c3, knight b7, and a5, and it was in these positions on move 42. Garry Kasparov resigned the game because there is nothing to do against it. I mean, like capturing on a5, and after, I'm sorry about that, like rook a4, knight a5, b5, and b7, like rook takes a7, knight d8, and rook d7. This knight is stuck, and there is no way for knight to run away from the rook. But after, if you guys says knight can simply plays d8, but it doesn't matter, like pushing the pawn, and after pawn takes b6, just a6, and you guys tell me how knight is going to stop this pawn from the queening. And thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys like this video, and I could do my best for you guys. And if you like it, you can share it with your friends on the bar or library, and put your thoughts in the comment sections. And tell me, do you like activity on the chess games or materials? And see you guys in the next video. Take care.